Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of She Means Business. I'm your host, Sheka Balani, and the founder of Chic Studio as well, which is a marketing agency based in the Middle East, but we serve clients globally. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a very interesting topic. As you guys know, my podcast usually revolves around the topics of self growth, entrepreneurship, women in business, and so on. I create and talk about different topics that essentially are supposed to take you to the next level in your personal and your work life. So, today I want to cover a topic that I've been asked a lot of questions about, and I thought I'd do an episode on it because I believe that there are many people, perhaps, that follow me that want me to dive in a bit deeper on it. So, today specifically, I want to talk about luck, opportunities, and how to be successful. And this could be kind of like something that you can apply in various different parts of your life, not just, the workplace and your career, but also perhaps you have another goal, which is, losing weight or getting a promotion or, starting a business. So I want to cover into the factors that, have enabled me to successfully run a half marathon, start two successful businesses, move halfway across the earth, and various different other things that I've been, fortunate enough to achieve in, my life. And I'm, only just turning 30 very soon. But I want to talk about, how do you actually go down a path where you are able to achieve success. So I want to start off first by talking about the myth of luck. Human beings, as just individuals, we oftentimes just like to compare ourselves to, whoever is around us, where it could be, your colleague, it could be, someone that you're studying with, or even just people that you see on the internet. And when you see usually things on the internet, let's say, I open my phone, and the first thing that I look at is usually just, someone being super fit. And I automatically compare myself to them, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm putting in so much work. I walk 10,000 steps a day. I go to the gym 4 times a week. Why do I not have a physique like that? Immediately, your brain either goes two ways. It either goes one way where it's always negative, and it, will always be like, well, why can't I achieve this? And you'll just go down a route where you're constantly just, negatively affecting yourself by having all of these negative affirmations. Or the second route that your brain takes is, this person was just lucky to, have this physique. It's probably genetics. They probably just had that. But the truth is that opportunities don't just land in your lap. That's not a thing that happens. You have to be at the right place at the right time and put in the right amount of work to actually achieve your goal. And, this could be obviously about a physique that you're trying to, get, but it could also be part of what your end goal is. So, oftentimes people always ask me this because, I'm in my late 20s now, and I've already started two businesses. So, one of the questions that I always get is like, how do you actually start and scale a business? And how do you find the opportunities, and how do you know what's the right business to start? And it always comes down to, one, following your passion, and two, having the hard work and discipline to be able to achieve that outcome. So it's not just luck, it's perseverance, it's discipline, and it's having the right roadmap to take you to point X to point Y. And I guess this goes on to the second thing I want to talk about is taking action over waiting. Now, obviously, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but it's how you utilize your time that will take you to the next level. Are you structuring your time correctly in the day to prioritize the things that matter the most to you? If fitness is something that you're trying to get more into, and you have an extremely busy schedule, more times than not, it depends how bad you want it. If you want to really lose weight, you will put in that extra amount of time to wake up early, or, you know, go and try and squeeze in some time after work to walk and get those steps in, whatever it might be. You will find the time to do the thing that needs to get you to the next level. It just depends how bad you want it. So, you know, these are ways that I've honestly started incorporating in my day-to-day life. So showing up is super important. So, you know, I honestly, as an individual and where I am in my life right now, I'm based in Canada right now, right? So, and my team is entirely based in Asia, so like Middle East, India, and so on. And I have to wake up early. I have to wake up at like, 5:36 some days, and I don't shut my laptop to even have breakfast until 12, because that's how bad I want success. Now, obviously, that's not a great thing. That means I skip breakfast. I have to, like, grab fruits, whatever, try to eat something. But that's how bad I want success, that I will sacrifice, my sleep, and I'll catch up on sleep, during the day, or I'll sleep earlier. But that's how bad I want it. So I keep showing up in moments that matter most. And that also means that because of the discipline that I've had, and honestly, it goes in waves. I don't have discipline all the time in life, and I don't think everyone does. It's okay to be a bit lenient on yourself. But because of the discipline I have, and because of the daily goals that I have for myself, so one daily goal I have for myself is I have to get 10,000 steps. And there will be times where I've, already showered, I've already had my dinner, it's like 9 p.m., I'm supposed to be in bed asleep by 10:30, and I have 1 hour, and I'm like, okay, I have to still achieve my 10,000 steps, and I'm only at 9,000 steps right now. I'll literally go in my backyard or in my living room, and I'll walk around for honestly 30 minutes to an hour while I'm watching TV, just so that I'm able to close my steps, my step goal. So the whole point of my example here is to kind of tell you that you need to break up your goals into small milestones. So for me, a small milestone is that I'm consistent on a weekly basis in hitting my 10K step average, step goal. My second milestone is that I am able to lift a certain amount of weights at the gym. So all of these things are milestones that I've kept that contribute to my wider goal of being fit and being healthy as a person. And also having this enthusiasm that I will say yes to anything that comes my way. So for example, my friend invited me to go on a run with her, to run like 5K the other day. And right now I'm not in my running phase at all. I used to be a big runner. Like a couple of years ago, I ran a half marathon and all of that, but right now I don't think my body can take it, and bodies change, and I've become okay with that. But I took up the opportunity, and I was like, why not? Let me go enjoy the weather. Let me take some time to really breathe and think on my run, and socialize with my friend as well. And the same can be applied in various different parts of your life. Like, let's say you're trying to achieve a promotion. By saying yes to things that you don't want to do and projects you don't want to take on board, you are saying yes to those opportunities that will benefit you in the long run. Obviously, be strategic and be a bit more be a bit more aware if the project is actually going to contribute to your goal. But if it does, then I would say for sure go ahead and take those opportunities. And that brings me on to the next topic, which is regarding strategic networking. I want to tell you guys a story about strategic networking, which I think applies really well here. Imagine this. Right after COVID, I moved to the UAE because I had heard so much about the different opportunities that were there. Obviously, I went to the UAE not having any connections there. I think I knew like one or two people when I went there, but entirely it was up to me to make a living and make those connections and build something. And obviously, when I went to the UAE, I had actually gone in with the intention that I do not know what I'm doing. I was in my early 20s, I was still figuring life out, and I just said yes to everything. I would go to, different women in business events. I would go to conferences. And these are things that I still do to this day. Obviously, not as much because I don't have the time. But if you are in that position where you want to grow your career, then I would definitely say like you should go for it and say yes to opportunities, and also be in places where you are strategically with your target audience, or kind of like the industry that you want to branch into. So what I mean by that is, during the time that I went to the UAE, Gulf Food exhibitions was around the corner. So Gulf Food is, a yearly, an annual event that takes place in Dubai, which is the largest food and beverage fair, an exhibition. And I have always been into the food and beverage industry, probably because of my family. But yeah, I was super into it, and I definitely wanted to expand my connections within the UAE. So I went to this Gulf Food exhibition, but I went in prepared. I went in, with specific goals that I had in mind. So I want to get at least 5 LinkedIn connections in a day with people that I will talk to after the event. So that was one of my goals that I had at the time. And I think going in prepared, kind of like with, a checklist in mind of this is what I want to achieve out of, me being at this event, helped me a lot. So this strategic approach turns networking into more of like a longer term active relationship building process, which I thought was really interesting. So I think that's definitely a really good idea to have in mind. And then another one that I want to talk to you about is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is obviously booming. It has been booming since years, and B2B networking has become a lot more easier because of LinkedIn. So every single day, and this has been for years, I will always just, send around 25 to 30 connection requests and try to, network with people in my industry and follow them, see what they're up to. If there's ever a point where, I feel like I could help them or they feel like they could help me, I want to be known for a person that is the best in, let's say, event marketing, which is what my job is now. I want to be strategically in someone's For You page on LinkedIn so that when they are looking for a marketer for their event, they know that I'm the right person that they go to. So LinkedIn works in that way. You just need to build a relationship. Don't just connect with someone, but go beyond that and explain what you do and understand what they do. And, you can then be in a position where you're working, on a long-term basis down the road with that person if you do develop a good relationship with them. The next topic I kind of want to cover here is the mindset shift. So over here, I wrote down some notes that I kind of want to walk you guys through. And I wrote down 2 things. So one is being passive. So, the example of I hope someone notices me, versus being active, like I will make this happen. So this mindset shift is really powerful, and I feel like if you don't activate this mindset shift, then you will never be able to achieve success. And the reason why, books like The Secret is so popular is because it teaches you the power of manifestation. So, having those positive affirmations daily that I am successful and I am, an owner of a very successful company, saying those things to yourself, even if you aren't at that position or at that point, will make you believe that, or make your conscious believe that, yes, I am able to do that, and that will be my reality. So it's more of like a positioning and a mindset shift of where you are now versus where you want to be. So it's kind of like imagining and perceiving yourself as your higher self. And that's exactly what my phone screen says. It says, highest version of myself. I have the power to change my life at any moment. And essentially, that's something that I very strongly believe in. So, this kind of like podcast episode that I'm talking about is something I very strongly believe in, because I feel like, even, I guess from the outside in, people tell me that, Shika, you're so successful. How did you do this? How did you do that? But for me, I feel like I have a long, long way to go to where I want to be at. So for me, I'm learning every single day. I'm also practicing these affirmations. I'm also practicing, all of these things that will get me to my point of where I want to be. So I think that's a super important thing to believe in. And obviously, finally, I know this episode's been a bit long, but I want to cover one last thing, which is the power of consistency and follow up. So, if there's anyone that's in sales that is kind of listening to this podcast, this one's for you. So, you know how in sales, you have a lead that comes in cold, and you constantly have to nurture them to be able to be in a position where you eventually sell them your service or your product. That's the same that applies in this scenario. In this scenario, think of it this way, that you won't see results after one workout. It will take you multiple workouts for you to actually be able to lose weight, for example. It's consistency in everything. Consistency in good diet will get you there. A consistency in a proper workout plan will get you there. So it's like that, everything in life, right? You have to be consistent. So I'll give you an example of kind of like in my career. When I first started off Chic Studio, I sent around 100 cold emails every single day for, I would say, 2 to 3 months before I finally got one person to reply and one person to close a deal with. My first, I think, 2 or 3 clients all came through cold email, and it was kind of like a monumental shift because I landed one deal after another after another. And it wasn't luck that those all fell into place and I was able to start my business so well, but it was the consistency of me doing the hard work for 3 months before I got that first deal. So I just want to remind you that, sometimes you're in a position where at the moment you don't feel like your hard work is paying off. But trust me, it might take 2, 3 months down the line. Maybe for some people it takes 6 months, but you will achieve the goal, your end goal at the end of the day, because you are putting in that consistency and you're following up every single day. So I just want to reiterate kind of like some actionable that I have in front of me. So obviously the first thing is to identify your dream goal. So what is it? Is it a dream job? Is it a dream person? Is it a dream partner that you have in mind because you're looking to get married? Is it a dream career or position that you have in mind? And I would actually recommend you to take a photo of whatever your dream goal is, or have like a Pinterest board, because this is something that I do. I make it my wallpaper on my phone or on my computer, and that way every single day I'm waking up and I'm looking at my goal, and I'm then kind of like understanding that this is my end goal. Like, I have to see it every day and this will become a reality. So obviously that kind of like goes into the second point, which is the mindset shift. Once you have that mindset shift, then only will you be able to achieve your goals. Without the mindset shift, I think you're just faking until you make it, right? And that goes on to point 3, which is you need to be consistent and follow up to achieve your goals. Nothing is going to happen overnight. Anyways, that's enough of me yapping. I really hope that this video and this podcast taught you a lot about the power of consistency, of following up, and how luck is not always just luck. It's hard work mixed with luck. And yeah, I hope this podcast really inspires you to take that next step and to achieve your goals. If you guys have any other questions, please do message us on social or comment down below, and we'd be happy to answer your questions. I personally look at all questions, so if I can, I would love to record, my next episode based on, one of the comments that you guys leave down below. So super excited for that one. And yeah, please subscribe so that our channel keeps growing and that I'm inspired and motivated to keep going. I know it's been a bit inconsistent, the posting schedule, just been so busy, but I'm definitely going to try to incorporate videos more often in my schedule so that I'm able to get this content across to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video and this podcast episode, and I'll see you in the next one.